Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today in the personal development and training session, hopefully to be held every Tuesday. We'll see how the weeks go. Today, I have a very special guest. Everybody absolutely loves her, Marci Preble. She's a senior presidential director, and she is the great leader of our big team. And she's here to discuss with us the tricks of the trade and the education as to how do we speak to the medical professionals? How do we talk to doctors, acupuncturists, chiropractors, naturopaths, etc.? How do we actually introduce them to this wonderful technology that we have our hands on? What exactly do we say and share? How do we follow up? And what do we basically try to encourage them, like what packages to buy and how they use it in their particular office? So with that, Marci, why don't you say hello to everybody and let's get moving.
Well, hello, and I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm so happy to talk about how we talk to doctors, how we set up their offices, what is a good pack for a doctor, and how really does the doctor piece work. And so I am happy to talk to you about all of that. And I'm just, as we're talking in real time, taking some snapshots of a couple of things that we've been putting together for doctor offices as we have been working this a little bit just recently. And so as I do that, just give me one moment to kind of put my thought together on that. So doctor offices, how does it work? I like to say that doctor offices are really not any different for me than people, right? Because we're educating and we are of service. So doctors start just like anyone starts for me with a list. And I can look at my phone and put a list of who do I know that are doctors? Who do I know that's my chiropractor? Who do I know that is my chiropractor's friend as I become friends with other people's friends. And once again, it's list making. And I'm just going to give you an example of what I mean by that. You know that if you've heard me train before, I'm big into lists. So in my list, you guys know I have my list book, and I've been doing what Dr. Stacy does now, which is who do I know that where I put on the top the holy grail of healing. Who do I know that's into that? What doctors do I know that are into that? And I write a list, their name and their phone number, or their name and their email, or their name because I saw them in Messenger, right? Who do I know? So I'm going to give you a story of a who do I know. I was reworking my list, and in my who do I know that would be into the holy grail of healing, as I was going through, I'm just being totally honest, I was going through my contacts. I was just like looking through different lists. I like to make lists in my phones, right? And I have a list of doctors. I put doctor in my phone. So like if you ever see when you put people's names in your phone and you put first and last name and company, I always write how I know people under company. So, doctors, let's just say, I'm just giving an example, Dr. Bill Smith, chiropractor in Orange County, friend, how do I know him through, friends with my massage therapist, say Tara. That's how I put people in my phone. I've been doing it that way forever, right? So I will also put people in the phone if I meet them other ways, like if I've met them in work because I love Juice Plus. So do I know them because I like that? Or do I know them because I love an omega-3 Moxor, right? How do I know them? Different ways I know people, and some of ways I know are from different network marketing companies, as an example. So one of those companies that I was doing, who do I know? And I was going in my phone with a list is a company called Moxor. And because I ran this omega-3 company for years with people. And so when I typed in Moxor, well, let's see how many people, when I search Moxor, I have. So under Moxor, the list of people I know from Moxor are probably 50 people. Okay. That's just, I target them. I did this business 10 years ago, and I put that with everybody that I know from them. And one of these people, I don't know if she's on the call, her name's Michelle. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Michelle would love this. I forgot to contact her. So what did I do? She went on my list. Who do I know? Okay, Michelle. I call her up. I say to her, I found the Holy Grail of healing. What do you know about stem cells? And she goes, oh my gosh, Marci, it's been so long. We haven't talked forever. I go, I know, it had been years. Okay. She's still in my phone, but it's been years. She goes, you're not going to believe what I do now. I go, well, what do you do? She goes, I do PRP. I call on doctor offices. You do not. I do too. Well, if I understand, Michelle, PRP is platelet-rich plasma. It's a form of stem cell injection, kind of like, right? Yes, it is. You got to be kidding me. Well, this is stem cells that you activate with light. You've got to try it. Take a look at startx39now.com and look at the first video on light and the second video on stem cells. I'm sending you a gift of 5 right now. Shoot me your address. She does right away. Then I say, what's going on with you? Anything going on with you? She goes, you're not going to believe what I did. I broke one of my hands, my fingers. She goes, you would think it would be easy to fix. It's not. My right hands stick together. I can't move them. I'm crippled. I go, what? She goes, yeah, I can't move them. And my doctor and my physical therapist tell me that, like, I got to start moving them or I'm going to be crippled. I said, why don't you move them? You know what she says? It hurts so bad to move them. I said, I'm sending you some Lifewave too, because Lifewave breaks the connection in pain. So what does she do? She gets her gift and she puts it on the kitchen counter. Of course she does. So I call her and I say, did you ever put them on your fingers? And she said, no. I said, well, don't you think you should? And she says, yes. And so she puts an X39 on her finger. And she goes, well, this is kind of interesting. So I say, well, maybe you want to share it. So the funny part is she shares it with her friend, Jeff. And guess what Jeff does for a living? Sells PRP. And she says she sends him some X39 and some Lifewave. But she's still like not really into any of this, right? But she sends it to him. He turns out to have lower back pain so bad that PRP, he's done his own injections because he sells the stuff, but it's still not doing anything. And so he puts an X39 and an Lifewave on his lower back and, just get the patch on the body. Guess what happens? In a day or two, all his pain's gone. So guess what happens? He calls her and says, this stuff you send me is great. My back pain's gone. And she goes, really? I really haven't done anything. I don't notice anything. And he goes, have you been putting it on? You know what she said? No. He goes, well, maybe you need to put it on your fingers. And so finally she does. She puts it on her fingers, X39 and Lifewave all over her fingers. 2 days later, you know what she does? She calls me. Oh my gosh. I can move my fingers. It doesn't hurt to move my fingers. I can do my exercises. Fantastic. So far, we're just like exploring the product together. This is amazing. She goes, oh my gosh, I really need to know this. Now I'm in. I said, great. Who do you know that would like this? And I said, why don't you make your list? So what does she do? Guess who she knows? Doctors. A lot of doctors. A lot of doctors are her friends. Guess what her list starts being? Doctors. And so I say, that is awesome. Let's contact them. And she says, great. And so her list are doctors because that's who she calls on. And by the way, her husband, who actually passed away a few years ago of brain cancer, actually, so it hasn't been easy for her, was a doctor. So all their friends are doctors. Okay, doctor. Not only does she call in doctors, her friends are doctors. That's her list. Am I now going to go work in Michelle's list with her? What do you think? Absolutely, I am. And I said, let's write a list. And she does. She starts writing her list. On her list is all her PRP reps, Jeff and Jim. And now she's thinking of her doctor friends, Dawn and Dr. Lisa. And the list starts happening. And so then she says, well, I have this list. What do we do? What do you think I said? Let's call them and say you found stem cell technology. And so we did. And what do you think we sent them? Start X39now.com. And what do you think I did? I directed them a little more science-y. What do I mean by that? Well, first, Dr. Lisa, who's a pain management doctor, take a look at the first video on light. Then take a look at the second video on stem cells. In 4 minutes, you'll know. Would you shoot me your address and we'll send you a sample? I don't think we say gift to doctors. We say samples. They like that better. But because Michelle is good friends, right? It's warm, right? It's warm. It's not cold. It's warm. So what do? Well, Dr. Lisa is a pain management doctor. So for her, we sent what we call a pain and repair protocol. So we actually sent her X39, Eon, and Icewave, a little sample of each, 5 X39, 5 Eon, and 5 Icewave. We call that the pain and repair protocol. It's a great protocol for pain and for pain management doctors and chiropractors. Any doctor dealing with pain, that's a great protocol.
Marci,
yes.
So with your friend, so you guys she already basically had their phone number, and I presume they still called into the office like anyone else would. And did she basically say, hey, I want to talk to, Dr. So-and-so, this is his good friend, blah, blah, blah. I just have something. I mean, how did that first start?
So no, it's not cold, it's warm. She has her cell number in her phone, right? Okay. So this is a whole, this is why I like to warm lists, because eventually somebody has a great warm list of doctors. I'm not Miss Cold Girl. I work my own list. You saw how I remembered Michelle from another company. I asked her what she did, and all of a sudden now I'm working 4 lists away into a cell number of doctors, right? I would much rather do that than try to be a rep cold. I'm going to work warm every time before I go cold, right? I just am. Now, can I work cold? Absolutely. And I'll explain how you can work cold in a moment, but working cold is like, when I work warm, I can convert at least at 50%. When I work cold, you're going to call 100 doctors and maybe convert 1, okay, which is 10%. And then you better go work into his doctor friends, which are cell numbers. Do you understand? I only like cell numbers. I don't like an email. They are a waste of my time. Or if I will work under a doctor's influence. Hey, there's a stem cell technology. When Marci calls you, Bob, who's Dr. Bob, who's Dr. Scott's good friend, don't hang up with her. I'm sending her your cell number. Do you understand? Like, it's so important to work under the influence of a doctor to work past the front desk. The front desk is the guard, right? You got to work the front. If you're going cold, you got to work the front desk to make those people warm, hoping to get to the doctor. I only call chiropractors cold at noon, because I know from noon to 2, their cell number doesn't go to the front desks. It goes to their cell phone because they're at lunch, right? I do not like going cold. I do, you know what I mean? So I hope that answers. So back on this. So Michelle is calling her doctor friends on their cell phone and saying, I have this. So what I'm trying to say is that she's talking to the doctor in the same way you're talking to your friends, warm, right? Warm. And so but what she's saying is to look at those two videos, and then she'll send the sample. But then what's different about a doctor is after they get the sample, so I'm exposing with the same stuff, very basic for if they want the sample. But then, hold on, what I'm doing after they get the sample is probably a little more in depth, right? So let me explain what I mean. The reason I actually put some of the more intense videos on the Now site was really so I could use this site to further educate doctors, whether it's a text or a Zoom call scheduled. So I always still just do the first and second video for interest, but then I go quickly to patents and studies and show them how they can do their own research. I'm not doing it for them. I just show them where it is. I do many times touch on the patent because it's so easy and it's so great third party, right? So I'll just say, well, Dr. Lisa, if you look at the patent, you'll see that X39 activates GHK copper peptide, which activates stem cells in the blood. Of course, Dave is not going to get a patent if the product doesn't do what it says it's going to do. And doctors love patents. They're like, whoa, that's cool. And then you can go right into the studies. And by the way, doctor, there's this great study on brain function that you might want to take a look at.
So this is all in the warm contact, talking to them on the phone and sending this to the via text or whatever way the doctor wants to receive it.
Yeah,
in person.
Either way, you can text it to them. You can talk about it. You can tap on it. You can tell them to go look at this. I'll tell you a couple things, but like you can tell a doctor, was this the brain mapping? Take a look at the brain mapping. You'll see in 6 weeks, you can change the way the brain flows. I know my stuff well enough that I will tap something in a second, but give them all the detail after. I'm a tapper with then go look at the detail after, as an example. I also will tell a doctor to go look at the X39. This is by the owner of the company, and it will explain how the technology works and the issues it helps with. And I also like to tap on doctors, this one. I added this to the site for doctors. Take a look at what David is telling health practitioners about X39. So what I'm trying to say is the Now site, if you can direct people or doctors to the pieces that make sense without having to do all this work. I don't like a lot of work, okay? So I just say, go to startx39now.com, look at video 1 and video 2 in 4 minutes, doctor, you'll see if you want samples. Oh, you want samples? Now go to the Now site and tap on the research and patents, tap on GHK copper peptide so you understand that, and go look at the 2 videos, one by David Schmidt on the technology and one where he shows the research. It's all right there. So I'll just direct, I guess what you're asking me, Wendy, is I'll direct on the site because I don't want to email like 20 different documents like blah. And honestly, they don't want to see it. Doctors really, less is more, right? They don't want to, they may, when a doctor says, send me 20 research articles, it's his way of saying, I'll never talk to you again, right?
Yeah, their time is valuable and you need to respect that.
Yeah, and so, everything's on the site, just tap. And then you can even say, and if you want doctor to look at more of the technologies, just click on patch information and placement and you'll see every technology we make. I have basically directed a doctor through every piece of the site. But just like with normal people, I'm having a doctor look at video 1 and video 3. So, and I'm sending a doctor a sample through Jan, through the office, just like you guys are in the sample envelope. Doctor, you're going to get a sample. It's going to explain all about X39. because you're a pain doctor, I'm going to throw in a few Icewave and Eon. Oh, take a look at, and I'm just saying this right now, take a look at video 1 and video 2 so you understand what you're getting. Cool. It's coming in the mail. You also may want to look at the patents and studies and a couple of the videos below that talk more science through the research. It's all on the Now site. Lastly, to understand the Eon and the Icewave, take a look at the video, take a look at the website at the very bottom and look at all technologies. You'll like that. Oh, by the way, in the envelope, there's a 1 page of all the technologies now that Jan's sending anyway. So what I'm saying, whether it's a doctor or a person, it's still touching and educating and being of service and just pointing where the information is. They're not stupid. They can find this. I mean, you could even be so easy, Wendy, as saying, look at video 1 and video 2 on stem cell. Your sample's coming. If you like what you see, go to the Now site and check out more of the research and the research videos. Right. Simple.
So would your, I mean, I know this question, but I want you to answer for everybody else. So would your approach, now this is a warm market we're talking about. We'll go into core market in a little bit, guys. But would your approach be any different to, let's say, a dentist or to a chiropractor? So basically be the same way. Hello, I'm Susie knows you, da. We got some great information. What do you know about stem cells? Et cetera, et cetera. If they're a pain doctor, obviously, give them the pain samples. If they're a dentist, perhaps, things that decrease inflammation in that area, I would presume.
I would say that for most everybody, I expose stem cell only, and it's X39, and I use the Now site and I use the gift. Doctors are no different. And that Now site I've added so much on the Now site that is research-based for doctors. You just point to it. And if for a pain doctor and a chiro, you want to add Eon and Icewave, you can, or add X39 and Icewave only because Icewave, it's so experiential and people notice something so fast. And it seems like the chiros and the pain doctors really like that combination. But everybody else, I just do X39. And if they move into the integrative doctors like Dr. Patty, they like glutathione on the detox patches. But I would pretty much just stick with X39. But on the pain doctors, we call it the pain and repair protocol, X39, Eon, and Icewave. Man, that sample's nice. Pop the spot of pain. It just samples nice. And that's it. But I still just push it in this envelope, right? And Jan now in every envelope, which is really cool, in every envelope, and I'm going to the Biz site, we have added this, at least when Jan samples for you guys, if you're working the office, we put in every envelope now these 2 sheets. The 1 page, we love the 1 page. And the 1 page even has for vets now, because I added it because I just got a vet doctor through the warm market of Michelle, who was a Moxer person with me 10 years ago that I forgot about until I re-looked at my phone. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? So that's why that got added, right? And then there's Icewave, and Dr. Patty had me add full body. So we have the spot of pain full body. There's X39 and there's Eon. So you can educate a doctor with a gift, the 1 page, the Now site, and that's about it. We also just put the what to expect. I love this in the envelope. Yeah, that's a good one. And we reset 4,000 genes in 1 to 3 months. We repair the brain in 3 to 6. We reverse chronic disease. We repair chronic issues. That's probably a better way of doing it. And 6 to 12 months, we reverse aging. And so what's cool about that is then our girl Sally, this is what they really look like. You ready for this? This actually is going into the gift now. That's the what to expect card. And this is that's going in your gift now. And then the health tracker. So that goes in here with the sample. That's pretty good education for a doctor. And you could make the same thing to educate a doctor if you're just going in the office and giving them 5 X39s. I think that's a pretty nice education piece. And in fact, Dr. Stacy says that's what they send as well. So you can even go to Sally, and I just printed 500 of all of these. So now we print these if you guys like these. Okay. So that is, that's how I use the gifting envelope and the Now site to educate, whether it's
Right.
Sally Smith or Dr. Smith. Does that make sense?
Now, how would that differ from a cold market? Here I am, I've got some naturopaths or some dentist or whatnot in mind, and I want to approach their office, don't know them from Adam. And I get it, and I hear your words, but I know people want to hear this, we do it the same way we do with everybody else. But I think the office has a little more of intimidation because, we have the receptionist there. We can't really talk to the doctor. What would you suggest how to approach that?
Well, there's 2 ways. You can pound the pavement and you can walk in and pre-make 10 of these. And you have 5-day supply of X39. And you can walk up and you can say, my name's Marci. I represent stem cell activation technology. And I would love to make an appointment with the doctor. The doctor's name is he interested in this type of technology? And you just knock on doors until you find a doctor that's interested. I mean, it's cold, right? You just can't be attached, right? And they may schedule an appointment with you. They may say, give me the information and I'll give it to the doctor. You may want to give the information without the patches because, that's so cold. You have to decide, right? If you're giving patches and you can't even see his face, it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, let me give you the information. If he's interested in the information, I'll swing by and bring a sample to him. You know what I mean? Then you have to say, your name is what? Oh, Betty at the front desk. Hi, Betty, your name is, and you fall in love with Betty at the front desk. I'm Marci. Your name is Betty. Oh, Betty, what's the best way I can find out if the doctor would like to see me? Does he have an email? They'll never give you a cell number. Does he have an email? Do you have an email? May I call you on Wednesday to see if the doctor wants to see me? You are still booking the next appointment. Like I always train you guys, book the next appointment. You are booking the next appointment with the doctor, right? You're booking the next appointment. You can do that on the phone as well. Hi, my name is Marci. I work in the stem cell technology. Is Dr. Smith interested in this type of technology? I would love to send the doctor some information. How do I do that? An email, great, it will go somewhere. Is there a way I can follow up with you that he got the email and if he'd like to see me? May I set up an appointment with him to see me? You are now working more like a rep, okay? You are now working more like a rep. You are booking an appointment to have an appointment with the doctor as a rep, not as a patient. Don't be going in there as the patient and saying, I want a patient appointment and then blah on him. Or if you do that, have the patient appointment and then say, hey, I rep a stem cell technology. I'd like to book an appointment at another time to go over that with you. Can I go to the front desk and do that, right? Don't try to be the patient and the rep at the same time. It's difficult. They get irritated with that. So so think of yourself, put the cap on as I'm more of a rep and I'm repping a stem cell technology. Everybody's interested in it right now. So, hi, my name is Marci. I represent a stem cell technology. I'd like to book an appointment with Dr. Smith to talk about it. When does he see people? When does he see reps? Oh, Tuesdays at 10? Great, I'm going to bring a sample. Oh, he doesn't ever see reps. Oh, well, can I bring some information? Can I email some information? He may like it so much that he will want to have a sample or see me. And you do 100 people. Remember how Dr. Stacy says you go to Facebook and if you have 3,000 friends, you can voice memo up to 100 a day without getting shut down. Remember that? Or up to whatever, that's how many she does, right?
They flag after a while.
It's the same thing with exposing for doctors. You know what I mean? Like if you're going cold, you're going to call a lot. I have to tell you a funny example of this. when we were in the company called Moxer, we had a little doctor team. And that's what all of us did. We were all housewives. We had 3-year-olds. We put the 3-year-olds for an hour all together in a little space. And we all met. This was in I'm old. This was 20 years ago. We all met at my friend's house in Long Beach. And there was 6 of us. And we got the phone books out and we just started calling. And we started booking appointments. And that's what we did. And you know what? We probably, between all of us in 1 hour, called, I don't know how many we called, and we most people blew us off, but you know what we found out? We would get 3 a week that wanted to see us. And then what would happen? We would set them up. Do you know that I have doctors that we did that with in Moxer 20 years ago that are now using the Lifewave technology because they are still in my phone and warm? Okay. And so then what did we do? Or what do I do? Those doctors, I have a doctor that I met in Moxer doing that 20 years ago that is in my business. And I still say, Dr. Joel, who do you know? Can you connect me to some more of your doctor friends? Right? Let's go. So what do I mean by that? If you're going to go cold, you're going to do 100 cold to find 10 that want the technology. And all you're doing is finding the ones that want it without being attached to the ones that don't. Once you find the 10, then you start working and saying, hey, let's talk about, let's make a list of your doctor friends. And that it's through his list and his connections of his 20 chiro friends and their cell numbers that you go set up 20 offices. Do you understand? It is through the doctor's friends that you sign up those offices. Dr. Harmon, chiropractor in our business, right? You know what he said to me? Well, I made a list of all my chiro friends and I just started sharing it with them. And when they want the business, I send them, they order their kit and I send them 20 envelopes so they can start getting their patients on it. That's what he said. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm just facilitating my doctors that are now that. So if I went cold, then I take them warm, and now we're going to go work their warm list. It's still working lists, you guys. It's just working a doctor list. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So just real quick. So Sandy, yes, the app is really good, but the app, you have to have a telephone number or an email or other way, which they usually don't give up very well. So we're just trying to keep it within the Be Activating community training. The app is really wonderful. Used to doing that and it works great. Go for it. So coming back around, Marci, when either sharing, doing this route, and of course this is with anybody as well, when sharing that 5-day sample, most people think sample, they think, I'm going to feel something. And then you try to reach back out to them like, well, I didn't feel anything. What do you do there? What's your next response to these people?
So I think that, and Dr. Stacy talked a lot about this at that Saturday training. The sample is not for feeling. The sample it gives you the opening for follow up to the secret sauce. Follow up to the secret sauce, which are the podcasts, which are the testimonial calls, which are the practitioner calls, which are the doctor call that Stacy does every Tuesday. That sample is only a vehicle for you to make the phone call without feeling icky. And we're missing what the sample's supposed to be for. The sample is for the follow-up. So what do I mean by that? Oh, I sent the sample out. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? What's going on with your patients? What normally happens to your patients, Dr. Peavy? Your patients all have inflammation and nerve disorder from diabetes. Wow. Let me explain how this technology will help you with that. Let me send you a doctor call where that's all they talked about, right? Let me invite you to the practitioner call, right? So you're using that sample. I think so many people use the sample and they get it on people's bodies and then they think that that's all they have to do. And sometimes it is all you have to do. A lot of times it works. And a lot of times it's totally not enough. And what is enough is making sure that you invite them to the education. The reason we have so many plugins is not to make you be on all of them. It's that you can pick and choose what's best for the person you're exposing. Oh, this is an internal medicine doctor there, or a regenerative doctor. Boy, they're going to love hearing Dr. Patty. Oh, this is an acupuncturist. Oh, you got to put them in Dr. Stacy's Tuesday call. Oh, they can't go to that. That's okay, because we have every single recording. You know, I on purpose put so much back to house all those recordings so we have them, you guys. Like we have every single recording because we fund to have every recording. I just ask that you use them, follow up with them, know where they are. Does that make sense?
That is beautiful, because I know a lot of people, especially some of my distributors, are like, okay, I got this doctor. We have to get them in touch with the doctor. And I love to hear this, guys, because you just heard Marci. You don't have to reach out and go, oh gosh, can a doctor talk? No, you put them on these chats that we have, these podcasts that we have every single week. We have the practitioner podcast, lack of better words, and then we have the doctor call with Dr. Stacy. So there's two, was that Tuesday and Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, we have actually, it's Tuesday at 5:00 Pacific, and it's Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And you say, well, where do I find that? StartX39biz.com. Invite to podcast. They're right there. Oh, well, they can never make it. No problem. StartX39biz.com. Join Telegram. Grab it out of the Be Activating testimonial or the practitioner team. Every recording is housed. And lately, we've been even uploading them to YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube channel, which is also on tab 5. And like today, I just sent the YouTube link for the testimonial call last Thursday with our woman that her hands were growing so fast. Remember that testimonial?
Amazing.
And I just sent the link. And it's so professional because now we're uploading so much more to YouTube. So it's all there. And the system's really good.
Yeah. So basically, warm or cold market, same thing. You just walk up, try to make some sort of interaction where you can get in front with the doctor. If not, leave information. If you get in front of the doctor, leave samples, talk to them. Now Marci talked about, using everything on the phone, and if that's in your person, but if you're coming, you might want to print those off so you can say, hey, this is what's about. Would you recommend that, leaving some paperwork if you're meeting with the doctor?
I mean, this envelope,
yeah,
this what to expect, and this one page, this is what I would leave with the doctor. And then on the back is the Now site. And here's the thing, you don't even have to pay any money. This is on the business site. You can print it off. This is on the business site. You can print it off. And this is on the business site. You can print it off. And the Now site takes you to everything that Sally may need and everything that doctor may need, because it has both in there. So once again, you guys, when it comes to exposing to doctors, you ready? Less is more. Less is more. Okay. And so these are my favorite tools that I'm using right now. And, if I was going to go cold to a doctor, I would make 10 of these, and I would have X39 and probably a few Icewave. I'd probably only have X39 in here because I want to save my money. And I'd have a couple C's of Icewave. And I would go to I'd take my little map and I would look at 10 different offices. I'd drive my little car and I would be going boop, 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 boop. And see who wants to talk to me. And I would say my name's Marci. I represent stem cell technology. Would the doctor be interested in that? Who wouldn't be interested in stem cell technology right now? Everybody's interested in stem cell technology. It's the latest buzzword for doctors even, right? So that's how I would expose it. Once a doctor says they're interested, then you want to set up a Zoom to explain how to order it and how to set up their office so they can get it for their patients. And
so great segue, because there's been a lot of questions about that. Do we sign? Of course, I would say, guys, yes, we sign them up with a wholesale kit. Yes. But how do we help them understand? Do they sell it retail from that on to their customer or their patients? Do they set them up? Do they set the receptions underneath the doctor and have the receptionists basically sign people up as PCs or wholesale kits? what do we do to encourage to help our business as well as their business?
So what I would send the doctor is just the traditional order form, and that's on the biz site. And I would text that to him, or if we had a Zoom, I would share screen. And I would say, well, doctor, we're going to sign you up on a kit, wholesale distributor kit. And the pick is the $299 kit all the way to the $1,600 kit. And I'm going to give the example of pain and repair. My suggestion to you is we're going to mix and match your kit with X39 Eon and Icewave, the pain and repair kit. And I would suggest possibly a 1/3 mix in the kit. So for example, a platinum kit for $1,000, doctor, is 6 X39, 6 Eon, and 6 Icewave. That's only going to cost you $1,000. Did you know when you get that kit, you're going to get your cost of your sleeves to $50 a sleeve? Here's how you're going to retail it, doctor. $150 for X39 and $80 for Icewave and Eon. Boom. Doctors are used to spending $1,000 for a setup. And by the way, doctor, that's a 100% markup for you. Or if you want to figure out the profit, you could do that really quick for them, right? So if they do a platinum pack and they fill it that way, then if their unit comes down, which it does, I just did the numbers for someone. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm totally right on that. So if the unit comes down to, I'm sorry. So for example, that example of a platinum kit, 6, 6, and 6, I'm just going to give that example so it's simple. That example of a platinum kit, 6, 6, and 6, gets their sleeves down to $55 a sleeve. They retail for $150 X39 and Eon and Icewave at $80. You can figure out the profit for them. Okay.
And guys, that's so important to tell them what actual amount of deal money that they're saving. That really helps. And just like us, right? We want to know how much we're saving. We're more likely to buy that particular product.
I'm going to tell you, I've done the numbers. So the platinum kit costs them $1,000. If they and their unit is at 55 a unit, and they retail and they sell X39 at 150 and Eon and Icewave at 80, they're going to make their retail for selling all of those is $1,860. Their profit is $860. So we've just showed them how they can make profit. Basically, they just made 100% profit. That's a good deal. Okay. Yeah. But then you take it one step further, Wendy. You say to them, so you can do that, but hey, I can set up your office. So not only can you sell retail, but you can ship it to their house. We like you ready for this one? These are my newest ones. We like the paint and repair silver kit and gold kit. And we're going to do that for your patients. And we're going to retail that. So now your patients get a better price. It ships right to them. And you're going to make a thank you check for the company. And let me show you what that one, I just created this one. You can tell I'm working on a paint and repair protocol right now for a doctor's office, right? I'm still like kind of figuring it all out. So I'm really no different than you guys. I just like figure it out when somebody says they want it, right? So here it is. It's right here. I just made it. So this is how we're doing it for the doctor. They buy a platinum pack, 6, 6, and 6. I just told you how to retail it. And then they put their patients on the silver kit for $299. Look at the retail's $469. And they get one X30, the patient gets one X39 and 4 Icewave. Or the gold kit, where they get 2 X39, 5 Icewaves, and 2 Eons. And then 1 X39 the following month to keep their stem cells activating. And so I then get the doctor's office set up with this particular order form, okay? And that works out really good. So now they have their order form. I also print out for their office setup 10 or 20 of these. So they have these for their patients so they can talk to their patients about it. And then I also just got these printed out because I'm doing it for an office right now. Hold on, give me a moment. I just had those. So funny. Hold on. So my doctor offices also like these, which are, I'm just going to show you for the pain and repair. We ordered these through Sally. The little card about X39, like a little card on Eon and a little card on Icewave. So what do you say the doctor setup is? The little pain and repair protocol, right? We're going to set them up with their little envelope so they can also sell or share X39. And then the what to expect in the one page. So you can see I made all these cards, honestly, for this new doctor I just set up, right? So
and everybody can get those via the back office from Sally, correct?
Correct.
Not the back office. I'm sorry, X39biz.com.
Yeah, through Sally. And what I'm going to try to do, because you see, I've just kind of started putting this together. Eventually, I'm going to take a picture of all this, and you're going to be able to buy these for your doctor office setups, and Jan's just going to mail them to you. Because I just ordered 500 of each of these. So you can see I'm just starting. So you can see I'm just starting to play with this. So this is for like a pain and repair doctor. And I just signed up my first vet. So I have the same protocol for my vets. And so what's the difference for my vet? Is a different order form. And I have the new AccuLife card that's going to go with Eon and X39. Where's my X39 card? Did you see my X39 card? You guys understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, totally.
So there's my little doctor office setup for vets. And so you go, well, what does that mean? Well, you go over here and you go to, and I just put these on because I've been using them. So this is my vet protocol. There it is. Oh, it's just like the doctor one, but it's for vets. So now you could have, so what do I mean by that? So my vet just ordered a platinum pack, 6 and 6, 150, 80. Now I just sent her these protocol order forms, and I just sent her my, I guess you could call it my big 5 cards, right? And she likes my little envelopes. Now, the other thing we did, which is kind of fun, and I don't want to overwhelm you. I want you guys to know I'm in the brainstorm of this too, because I'm just setting this up. So that's why I'm a little bit still like trying to put it together myself. But then what we did, this is super fun.
So this is good because guys, keep in mind, this is recorded. This will be up on the Telegram site and the Be Activating community. So you can always back it up and listen to it again. So keep going, Marci.
So then what I did is Dr. Lisa, my pain management doctor, she wanted business cards. So we went to Sally, the same cards that we all make, but this is Dr. Lisa. And the Now site, just like we have, it's the same exact thing. And then she asked me to make 30 pain and repair pops with her card in it. There's my pain and repair pop, right? An X39 Eon and Icewave. And then Jan made these cute little labels that explain exactly how to pop the spot of pain. So what is Dr. Lisa doing? Her pain people come in and she's doing what she does. And she goes, well, we have this new stem cell technology and it's the pain and repair protocol. And you've all heard about stem cells before. We have PRP, we have bone marrow injections, but they're expensive and we can't even get the cord blood injection anymore in the United States. And I found something that works better. We are actually activating your stem cells through non-invasive wearable technology. And then she'll show them, she'll educate them probably with this envelope or she'll educate them with this card. She can pick what she likes, or even just her business card with the Now site. And then she'll say to them, I want you to have the pain and repair protocol. And you're going to get the gold kit. And she'll fill it all out with all the information. And then before she leaves the office, she'll say, I'm going to do an education on where to pop the spot. And there's a pop the spot. And your shoulder pain is the problem. Let's put the brown patch on the pain spot, the white patch 3 inches away, that's the Icewave, and the Eon and the X39 in the same location. So you would pop all 4, pop the spot of pain. And literally she'll pop the spot of pain and send them out. And so now they know how to actually put the 4 patches on, and they've already placed the order. And now she actually has her brother working in the office with her, and he inputs all the orders. Dr. Patty hired someone to input all the orders. Sometimes people text me the orders. Dr. Peavy texts me all his orders and I input them for him, right? So you have to decide how you're going to be of service to run this. If you want a doctor's office running past retail, you're going to have to do an office setup education. What do I mean by that? When I set up the veterinarian, I sent her order forms, her 5 cards, and I sent her envelopes. She ordered a platinum pack, so all the product came to her office, and we had a Zoom with her office, and I went through how to do this, what to say about with the cards, what to retail the product for, how to take the order, who in the office is going to process the order, am I going to educate them? You don't have anybody that can do that. Is someone, or am I going to do it for them? Is someone in the business going to act as the admin for them? Doctors are super busy, right? So you have to kind of understand that. But that is, and so what was so cute, Wendy, is Dr. Lisa. I made her, I call this is the gifting bag a lot of you have. But for doctors, I call it the practitioner bag. And what I did for Dr. Lisa is I filled with this 40 or 30 of these with her business card. And I filled this up. And you know what she did last week to me, Wendy? She took a picture of it and it was open with all of these that I had did for her. And you know what she said to me?
What?
I'm going to a pain and repair conference this weekend and I'm going to pop 40 doctors.
Nice.
Okay. Right.
Nice.
So, I mean, it was so cute. Right. So, I'm just saying to you, like, it's the same. It's the same tools we've all been using. We just call it now the practitioner tools, right? So the other tool and this is what Dr. Harmon uses, and I did this for Lisa too, just to show you a difference. So I really find like there's 2 ways to educate. I mean, literally, when Lisa saw that all she had to do was this, and that the Now site is the education, because remember the Now site has everything on it. She's like, this is all I really need. I'm just going to pop and educate, pop and educate, pop and educate. And then I'm going to sign everybody up on this pack. Like literally, that's all she's doing now. But
yeah,
some of my
lot less time, lot less effort, and it's right there done for her. That's excellent.
It's pop. Remember the Now site's education. It's the pop. Maybe we make it even simpler. And it is the order form. But some of the doctors don't do the business cards. It gets confusing. They don't know really what that really is. And so that's why I created, the big 5 cards, because they can educate in their office with the big 5 cards as well. And then the last part is the gifting envelope. Once again, here's an example with no business card, but it's the same education, right? Educate. The Now site. Inside is another pop, but no business card, right? But a label. This is my label, but I used to have Dr. Lisa's labels, but I labeled all her stuff. So I don't have, or no, I don't. She used her business cards. But as an example, you could have, Dr. Smith here, right? And so, go ahead.
So real quick, so I hear a couple, so who was this? So Cindy, this is not on the app. This has nothing to do with the Lifewave app. This is on these products, this papers that which Marci is sharing. You can find it on startx39biz.com, and we can kind of go over where to find that again here in a minute. And then you can do that before, after. And then one other thing is people are asking Marci. So, we've gone over, great, how to, approach the doctor, follow up, interested, and we have to reiterate, this is a sample so you to see the product, but of course you're not going to feel anything within this, or you may not feel anything in this amount of data, just so you see it, got your hands on tactile. Takes a while to turn over 37 trillion cells, but nevertheless, okay, we're going to train your office as to how to, sell at retail or to sign people up with wholesale kits. People are asking, what about preferred customers, having them sign up their patients as preferred customers? What's your thoughts there?
So you're welcome to do that. All of our order forms are really based on wholesale kits. So we've been doing retail wholesale kits, mostly because, a confused mind does nothing. And I just think there's too much confusion. I'm trying to make it simple. I'm trying to dummy it down. Less is more, you guys. Like I can't handle retail, preferred, wholesale kits. Like it gets like, whoa. So for my business, I just retail, wholesale. And here's the other great thing about retail, wholesale. The wholesale kit, that silver kit's a great value. That gold kit's a great value. And the doctors make $50 on every silver and $100 on every gold. The doctors that do the gold kits, they're $100. Boom, boom, boom. And they always do the auto ship. But the other thing that the gold kit allows you to do and the silver kit is, and this is some finesse where you have to train the doctor, and not all doctors are into this, okay? And I always say we sift and sort to find the folks that want to do this work. Doctors also need to sift and sort. What do I mean by that? Hey, what do you do? Gosh, chiropractors are with patients all the time. Maybe ask some questions. What do you do for fun? How did you really hurt that knee? Was that water skiing? Oh my gosh. So how do you get a water ski so much? What do you do for work? Oh, you work at home. Do you like other home-based businesses? I'm trying to educate my doctors on some questions to sift and sort to find out who are the home-based builders, who are people that want to build home-based businesses. 50% of people have built a home-based business at some point in their life. Who's into it? Once again, who do you know that likes this stuff? Who do you know that likes the goal? Who do you know that likes the holy grail of healing? Who do you know that likes working home-based businesses? Like, those are really great questions, right? John Harmon got really good at asking people if they like home-based businesses. And those folks, he put in, they're already on PACs. And so it's like, hey, join the office. Maybe you'd like to work this business. I believe one of his patients is now is now an executive director, as an example, right? Because he asked. So, but that's a little, for doctors, you got to go slow. Here's a pack, retail it. Here's how you set up the office. Wow, here's a practitioner bag. Oh, you've signed up some folks. Maybe a few of them would like a home-based business. What other doctors do you know that would like this technology? You know what I mean? So those are interesting questions. And I will say, I think this is a really interesting analogy. So, Dr. Stacy's in our business, right, Wendy? And Dr. Stacy learned about the Lifewave technology in a chiropractor office. Did you know that? She went into a chiropractor office and they said, we have this new technology. And she said, great. And guess what they did? They sold her retail a sleeve of X39 for $150. But they didn't ever ask any other questions about her. And she walked out of the office, off she went. The next day, April Vaughn, who is a network marketer, and she's been in business with Stacy for 20 years in different companies, called her and said, I just learned about the stem cell technology. Have you heard of it? I just bought a sleeve. You know what April said? Did you enroll with him? She said, of course not. He didn't even ask me. I said, she said, okay, well, you're enrolling with me and there's a meeting tomorrow. Let's go check it out. So we have to educate people, even doctors, how to talk to them. Now, had that doctor had this order form, let's see which order form, and signed up Dr. Stacy on a wholesale gold kit and an auto ship, would she be under the doctor right now or under us? She'd be under the doctor, but he didn't do that. So the reason I also like wholesale pricing is because we keep our babies that way and we keep our doctor babies. That makes sense?
Absolutely. Yes. So guys, don't really, when you get the doctor in, you really don't want them to miss out on the opportunity of keeping that customer, right? If you're just selling wholesale, you may lose them to somebody else.
If you sell preferred customer, you may lose them to someone else. But if you put them in the wholesale pack, it's the best price. You mix and match the pack and you keep the baby in case one of those folks likes to build home-based business. And now you got a builder under your doctor's office. I have one of my doctors and she has one of my biggest builders under her right now. And she has a ton of points because of that. And she's going to go build her other side, right? So, you know, it's residual income. Points, people equal product, product equals points, points equal income. And the wholesale packages puts the patients in the doctor's business if they decide to build a business. They don't have to. You only if you want to. You don't have to give a social or anything until you make money. But the wholesale packs give that opportunity and connect the doctors to the people. And plus, a confused mind doesn't buy. And what I have found working with doctors, you got to give them one form. You got to give them one what do I want to say? One way of doing it, right? You got to make it, we do this and this and this. The platinum pack, 6, 6, and 6. Here's what your retail. Here's your 2 packs you're putting your patients on. And here's your pops for your first patient education. Like boom, 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 boom. And here's your 5 cards, your doctor setup so you can educate your patients. By the way, your kit's coming to you. It will be here. That's your doctor office setup kit. Will be here by Friday. And we're going to do a 30-minute office training on Monday so you understand how to use the materials. Education, education, education. Simple, simple, simple. Okay.
If you would, Marci, real quick, for those that are wanting to know, where can they get those forms? Can you go through that real quick?
So on
go ahead.
You want me to go through that first?
Yeah. I was just going to say, because somebody said this is a tax write-off if you get your printer to print it out. Actually, Sally is a printer and she sends you an invoice. And yes, you can use it as a tax write-off.
So on startx39biz.com is our business site. And you go to the 14 steps to success. Please go and look at all these tabs and see what's in them, because we have been putting 3 years of materials in here and there's so much good stuff. So the stuff that I like is under first, write this down, tab 6, give a gift. Under tab 6, give a gift, this is where you could go tell the doctor to print out his own envelopes. There it is. Okay. You can go over here to the business cards, and this is where I went to order the business cards for Dr. Lisa. Take a picture of this, please. This is Sally. Her name, her phone number, her email. She does our printing and our designing. And just call her and say, I want those business cards for my doctor like you did for Dr. Lisa. And she'll go, okay, this is what I need. Okay. You can also go over here under give a gift to marketing supplies. This is everything Sally does. Once again, same number, same cards. But you can go further down and you can see everything she does. Okay. Those are, if you want to order your own envelopes, order them right there from Sally. I just got 1,000 of them. Look. I order a lot of these envelopes. Okay. They're in Spanish, they're in English, and they're in Vietnamese. You can also order these rack cards. Doctors love rack cards. These are like what I told you. What did I call those? I just gave a name of those. My 5 cards. Is that what I called those? My big 5? My 5 cards?
Yeah, your big 5, yeah.
My big 5. Look at, you can also almost play cards with these. This is kind of fun. Hold on just a minute. This is fun. My big 5 cards, right? My big 5. Doctor setup. So these are some other cards that doctors like, right? So like my big 5. And these are the big 5 that I use. Here's the X39. Here's the Eon. Here's the Icewave. She needs to put AccuLife on here because I'm using it now. And then there's the Shine and the Dream. She just got done making those. And these are posters. These posters are great. You could do posters in the office for them too. It's just another expense, right? So you just have to decide what you want to spend. Posters. I love this new one for athletes. Look at that one for gyms and stuff. So these are all, you can get any of this. You could even take your doctor to this site and say, pick and choose. You got $30 to, I'll fund X amount for your office setup. Or they can fund their own. The little brochures, right? So, there's AccuLife. So you can see all the cool stuff. I mean, the girl doesn't stop making, these are the retractable banners. So they could put a banner up right in their office. So there's a lot of good stuff. The self-healing book with light, that one talks about different protocols. That's really cool. Tablecloths. I mean, you can see the girl doesn't stop, right? So even if you don't see what you want here, you can tell her that you need something and she'll design it for you and then she'll add it. So that is all under Give a Gift, right? Marketing materials, business cards. This is the gifting bag. We do this all the time for ourselves. This is the one I just tell a doctor is now what do I call this for a doctor? The practitioner bag.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing we use, but it's like all the envelopes with the little plastics, and then you do a label with the doctor's information. It's great. That's what I did for Dr. Lisa, right? I did a practitioner bag and I filled it with her little pops and her business cards, and I got her some envelopes. Boom, she's good. Okay, so that's good. This office setup, I have this, but I would not do this. I'm rethinking this, but I mean, if you really wanted it, you order it from Jan, and it is a doctor office setup for pain and repair. It's just it has the POS. I'm probably going to change it around a little bit, but you can see there, it was my first concept. Icewave, X39 Eon, the little booklets, talking about, the X39, the little point of sale material, the practitioner bag. So there is an office setup, and you can order that now if you want. And I'm kind of rethinking that with my 5 cards is kind of replaced like so much of the paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's nicer too.
It's nicer, right? It's just,
yeah.
But you can see it's the same concept, right? My Eon. I really do feel like I'm playing cards. My X39, right? My Icewave, right? So it's the same kind of concept, right? And then these booklets tell patch placement, but I just use the one page with the patch placement now, so I don't need all the books, right? So I was just trying to figure out how can you do an office setup that doesn't have so much not so much stuff in the office setup. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. So there's that. And then you would go to the take the order, and under take the order is, this is the basic order form I use, and this is retail preferred, the different kits, and you build the kit to order. This one you can do preferred customer. I have an option there. I was with Dr. Stacy this weekend. This is the one she does. She just does retail wholesale only. I've been even thinking about switching to that. It just seems simpler, and then the different kit protocols. this is the kit protocol that Dr. Patty uses, who's an integrative doctor. She has the pain and repair kit, the detox kit, the skincare, the sleep, the hormone, and digestion. You might like that kit, right? That's great. And then like the pain and repair kits right here, this is the one that Dr. Lisa likes. She just is doing the silver kit, the gold kit, right? Same concept, right? And then we have the veterinarian kit. This is for the vets. We just made that for the vets as an example. And so that's there. And this is, I'll tell you in a minute. And then you can go down and there's the one page. You don't have to spend any money. You could actually direct your doctor. I told Dr. Patty, go print out 10 of these. Go print out 10 of your protocol form and go print out 10 of your what to expect, right? And go print out 10 of your health tracker. You don't really, you could just go print out your own for your office and not have any, right? So I would say then if I was really saying for office setup, it would be tab number 6. And tab number 9 has everything right now that I use to set up an office.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Should we just open it up to questions? So questions that are pertaining to this subject and the subject only, please. I don't want to keep Marci here for very long. We need to respect her time. Does anyone have any specific questions? If so, please raise your hand and let us, and we'll call upon you. Jenny, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Hi, thank you. So when they are ordering the packs, the patients, is the doctor's office the address that goes into Lifewave?
No, it's the patient's address. Great question. So it's the doctor's address when the doctor orders a pack for their office, like the platinum pack 6, 6, and 6, that goes to the doctor. But the pain and repair, for example, order form is the order form that a doctor.
No, I meant for him to get paid, not for I know the product's going to be mailed to the patient, which is convenient for the doctor, but I'm talking about for him to get commission.
So the way that works is the doctor orders a platinum pack and is on a 1-sleeve auto ship. And then he puts the patient on, let's say, the gold pack. The patient's information goes here. This ships to the patient through his website, because when he bought his own pack, he got a website.
Correct.
And then it ships to his patient. He has the patient has the gold pack, and then he just made $100 because he shipped it out of his site. Yes, go on.
I think the question is, does he sign up under his business address or his personal address? Was that the question, Jenny?
I'm just asking how the patient gets shipped.
Yes.
The product, they put their address on it. How does he get commission through his platinum kit?
Well, when he signed up for a platinum kit, he got his own website like we all did. He signed up for his platinum.
Okay, thank you. I get it.
Yep. Lifewave.
I'm sorry.
No, that's a good question. Let's go over that. Lifewave.com/Dr. Smith. So then when he puts his patient in, he goes to lifewave.com/Dr. Smith. He logs in, username, Dr. Smith, password, Dr. $123 whatever that is. And then he would go to literally his organization binary tree, and he has a left side and a right side. He clicked the plus sign and he would put that kit in, and he would have all the information from the order form for Betty Jones address. Then through his website, it ships to Betty Jones, and then the company pays him a thank you check. And then he would need to go to tab 12, set up your pay portal, and make sure that money goes to him just like we all do. So once again, a doctor has a website just like we have a website to put the orders in. And you know what I mean by that is that he could also go in and put that order in through, instead of going to the binary and things that are confusing, he could just go to join. And he could literally just go and put the gold pack in under join and fill that kit up, right? What would be like a pain and repair kit, and then the computer would put this on the tree for him, just like they do for us. And what he's going to need to do is go into and make sure, if he does it this way, that through his system that, he has a right leg and a left leg, that it, like, one day it's right, the next day he goes to left. You know what I mean? So,
but he'd have to change it every day. It's better to go underneath the tree.
It is, although, what Dr. Stacy trained, which I thought was interesting, was that when you change it every day and you hit join, or you change it every day and you hit enroll now, the computer automatically will put it on the far right or the far left, versus when you go to the tree, a lot of people don't understand far right and far left, and they're getting placed all over the place on the tree. And so this way, it really does get the packs exactly on the far right and the far left. And I thought that was really interesting, Wendy. And so here we go. Let's go ahead and
that's kind of like a whole different training, guys, which you can, Marci has done it a couple times, but I'm sure it'll be happening again in the future, as far as how do you flip it, as far as people signing up to go under your far left or far right.
Absolutely, we can show that, but just showing, like, for what that Dr. Smith would do, lifewave.com/Dr. Smith, click join. Now he took from this order form, Wendy, a gold pack of paint and repair. Looks like it's 3 X39, 3 Icewave, and 2 Eon. Green line, awesome. And then the doctor's going to do 1 X39 the following month to keep that patient's stem cells activating. I still very much recommend for a doctor to always have at least one sleeve auto ship on that. And now you got the paint and repair gold kit ready to rock and roll for the doctor. Now, yeah, it's going to take some education, right? We got to train, it's training the doctors on how to do that. Yep.
Excellent. Next question, Sarah.
Oh, there we go. And Wendy, I had a question. If you had a doctor that was just starting out and he has been enrolling preferred customers more than brand partners, what is the benefit of that for your upline and for your tree? And I guess that's my question right now is, do personally, the preferred customers, does that go up the tree?
It sure does. Yeah. So when you sign up,
because you don't see them in the tree.
No, you don't. You see them under organization preferred customers. So go look at your preferred customers by organization preferred customers, organization retail customers. That will show your retail and your preferred customers. They do not show in the tree, but the points come. So what do you get for points? Well, the doctor gets $20 a month every time the X39 ships, which is great as an example. And you get 43 points up the tree for preferred customers. You get
every time they order
points up the tree when it's wholesale, right? So you do get more points up the tree when you're doing wholesale kits and auto ship than you do with preferred customers. Does that make sense?
It does. So it is more financially, makes more sense to sign your patients up with a wholesale kit. There's a massive difference in the cost that you would be making, correct?
It's different. Okay. So when you're signing preferred customer, the doctor's making the $20 a month. That's really nice. Or let's say they're doing a paint and repair, the X39 Eon and Icewave. I believe that's like $50 a month. Like, it's good preferred customer money for them. But the actual points going up for cycling is 43 points, not 77. So it's not as good going up the tree with points. And it's also not as good for sifting and sorting to find if there's any builders under a doctor. And what I find is that preferred customers are awesome, but what do I want to say? Eventually that business starts to, they go off, they cancel their auto ship. They're not that, they're not that, that's what happens. When you do wholesale packs plus auto ship, that all will happen as well. But by golly, that doctor, if he's smart, will sift and sort and find those 4 people that are home-based builders. And now he's making $10,000 a week residual income because he has some builders under him, and he sifted and sorted and finding them. He will never sift and sort and find builders with preferred customers. It just doesn't happen. Because their customers are not, they're not
Educating the doctors.
correct. If that's something a doctor wants to do, if they want to be savvy enough to be a Dr. Harmon and sift and sort and find the folks that are home-based business builders that actually came into his office. And that requires a doctor wanting to ask some questions to find that out and feeling comfortable to do that. And that's a small percentage, probably 10% of the doctors understand what that really is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. There was a question that was in the chat, and which was basically, if you are approaching, like I said, medical spa or just a spa in general, where you have different, esthetician and different people are working, how would you set it up? And I would think that you get the owner underneath it and then have everybody sign their own basically distributor kit. And then if they basically introduce this to one of their customers, then they would sign it up underneath them. Is that how you would do that?
It all depends on the doctor's office, and every doctor is a little different. So you explain how it works, So doctor, you're coming in on your platinum kit, and this is your office. So you're going to want to put in, if you want to give an opportunity to your other people in the office, and some doctors do and some don't, then you could put your front desk person on a platinum pack on your left, and you could put your massage therapist on the platinum pack on your right. And then what you could do, doctor, is you could go 1 for 1 for 1, which you get a pack, and then your front desk gets a pack, and your massage therapist gets a pack. And that way you've got 2 motivated people in the office who are working for you, talking about it, because everybody's sharing in the profits. And what I like to call it a triangle, an office triangle. And so and I like to have the doctor at top and someone on the left and someone on the right. Now, some of the doctors say, yes, we're going to do 1, 1, and 1, because he knows that there's a triangle. Sometimes if it's the doctor and only one on one side of the triangle and nobody on the other side of the triangle, and they're doing 1 for 1, the doctor's still in trouble because he doesn't have anybody working the other triangle, the other side. So that's why I like to say, for an office, you need to set up a triangle, or you have someone like the front desk person that understands that and does 1 for the doctor, 1 for the front desk person, and then the doctor gets what do I want to say? How do I say this? So the doctor's here and the front desk person's here, right? So it'd be the front desk person gets 1, and then the doctor's going to get 1 on the other side, right? And then the front desk person's going to get 1, and the front desk person's going to build 2 legs, right? So it might be, the front desk person gets 1, and then they put 1 on the other side for the doctor. All I can say is the doctor is the office, right? And so however they work that, they got to work it so everyone's making money if they're going to share in the profits, right? So once again, the doctor, and then the front desk person, and then that front desk person needs to build the other doctor's leg and both of their legs, because let's be honest, it's the doctor's influence, but the front desk's doing all the admin. So they got to work together and trust each other on that. And then also the front desk person then can go build a business outside But I've never seen it work that well where the doctor says, I'm in, and now the front desk person's going in and the massage person's going in and everybody's mine and you guys are in. Isn't that awesome? You're going to admin my office and then you go outside and build your business separately. That doesn't usually work. Usually the doctor needs to use his influence to help build both sides with his office and profit share in it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. And also it also decreases competition within the office itself.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. And so sometimes they've said, well, the doctor's on top and then the whole office is on the left. And then we all work together as an office. The problem with that is then the doctor on the right never gets built because everybody's building the left. And so the main influence, the doctor's still not okay. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that however you do your triangle, and that's why I kind of like the admin person on the left, the massage on the right. Yeah, they're both in the office, and the admin and the massage therapist may not be on the same line because they're both working for the support of the doctor on the top. But the doctor on the top has to make money or the whole thing falls apart. I'm just saying, right? And so how do you do that? Now, if you put all the office on the left, and then you have an admin filling the doctor's right side, then maybe that could work so that the office is not in competition with each other. You know what I mean? But I still, in all my years of experience, I still think the triangle's the best, where the doctor's on top and they got someone on, the office manager on the left and, the massage person on the right, and they're all working together for the profit and then of the doctor, but then the doctor is using his patients to feed both lines. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right. We have maybe actually, if someone has a little tiny question, we might be able to take it, but we need to close this down because we've been on nearly an hour and a half and we're really monopolizing on Marci's time. Does anyone, if so, please raise your hand. I saw that you'd like to have a training on how to build your back and your left and right side. Yes, that's Marci's got a lot of that, and that probably will take place someplace on Saturday, I would presume. Anybody have a question particularly to this topic? Anybody? All right, you did awesome. See
it
how
is
good
the
you are?
patient's credit card that's charged, not the doctor's office credit card. They're taking the patient's credit card, and the patient is getting a silver or a gold kit, shipping to the patient, and the doctor gets a thank you check from Lifewave for doing it. Now, of course, the doctor's going to start with their platinum pack kit to begin with, which would be the doctor's credit card. So there's two different things going on. You're signing up the doctor. Let's say you can tell I kind of like this new platinum pack for doctors, the 6, 6, and 6, right? You're signing them up on the platinum or the diamond pack. Let's be honest, doctors need inventory. So I like platinum diamond. Let's get enough X39 Eon and Icewave to retail out of the office. And then from that's the doctor's credit card, right? So I got a doctor order form here, right? The doctor credit card. And then this is where the patient's gonna be doing either the silver or the gold. And this is the patient's address and credit card. And then you go into lifewave.com/Dr. Smith's website and put the pack in, ship it to the patient. It goes to the patient. The doctor makes the money because he also had signed up on a pack and has a website. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Okay, I think, are we good, Wendy? Oh, you're on mute. You're muted.
There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you. So people who are just, jumping in and they're wondering, well, how do I introduce? That was all discussed earlier in the hour. Feel free to receive this replay on Telegram on the Be Activating community and also the personal development and training group as well. So with that being said, thank you so much, Marci. I mean, everybody is just like, wow, wow, wow. Thank you so very much. You far exceeded as you always do. Thank you. Any ending notes that you'd like to give everybody when it comes to addressing medical spas, doctors, any on that order?
Well, all I will say is don't be afraid. We're just sharing stem cell technology and giving a sample and using the Now site to educate. And then after they want it, we'll set up the office. And know that, that Jan Rand works full time for me. She's a presidential in her own right. And she really is the one that mails everything out, even doctor office protocols for us. So if you are freaking out and you don't know what to do, Wendy, put Jan's name and number on chat. She will help you. Don't be afraid. And also, Wendy, this training also is on the Be Activating Business Training Telegram. And you can join all our telegrams on startx39biz.com under the 14 steps of success under tab 5, join Telegram. The best thing you can do is join our telegrams and see what's going on in our testimonials, see what's going on in our practitioner calls, see what's going on in our business trainings. We record everything and there's a wealth of information. So don't be afraid. We got each other. Okay?
Yeah, definitely, everybody. If you are thinking about it now or anytime in the future, connecting with a medical professional, get on Stacy's calls, get on the practitioner's calls, or at least watch the replays. It will kind of get you in the language and the understanding. And the more and more you listen to it, you will have that verbiage within your own mind to share as well.
I think that's
all right.
Thank you.
As far as someone's asking about next week's topic, I don't think I'm not promising, guys, but Amy and I might be doing the first training on social media, and specifically that cleaning up your social media website if you're already on Facebook, and what about branding. I think that's going to be the topic, but I'm not guaranteeing. I've not even cleared that with Amy yet. So hopefully it'll be what it is. But the last Tuesday of the month, we are going to have the actual personal development with our very own Peter No. So that's going to be loads of fun. So stay tuned for either one of those. So thank you again, Marci, so much for coming on. Really, really appreciate this. Was something everyone that was asking for a long time. And guys, if you want a specific topic to be answered, to be discussed, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me via on the Telegram Be Activating community. Just write like the little @ Wendy Morgan. I want this topic to be handled. My number, however, is 805-689-7865. Did I do that right? I think I did. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me and say, hey, I would love to have a topic on this. And then I'll find the right leader and we'll definitely set them up on these Tuesday trainings. Thank you again, everybody, for coming. Love you and have yourself a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.